Hello, my name is Elda Rodriguez and I'm going to be showing my teacher look. So my teacher look is something like and the reason that I redirected my eyes is because I'm imagining myself being in the classroom and there's a student who's distracted and I'm trying to direct them to what they should be working on. So I'm imagining like a worksheet or something like that and I'm like redirecting my eyes to the worksheet just to kind of give them a direction to it. The three people that I did this experiment with was my best friend's roommate, Shauna. Um, one of one of them was actually a student in my mentor's class, and then the other one was my nephew. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the student in my mentor's class. The reason I had to do this was because she was absent and she left me a note telling me to please help out any way that I can. So I was helping the sub with students who were having behavioral issues, and I caught myself doing this and it reminded me and I was like, this is a perfect example. So the student's name is Titus. Obviously I'm not going to share the information, but his name is Titus and he was just misbehaving. He knew that his teacher wasn't there and I had to have a conversation with him, but that didn't work, and he wouldn't sit down. He just kept saying no to the sub, and I looked at him and he looked at me and smiled, but I didn't change my face. I looked at him, I gave him the look, and he stopped smiling. He sat down and he started working on his worksheet. Then he raised his hand and told me that he needed help, and I told him that if he needs help, all he needs to do is raise his hand and ask like he just did, and I'll be able to help him. But like doing behaving a certain way is not the way to get help. So that helped me with his behavioral issues. And then the second one was my nephew. I actually feel really bad doing this to him because we have such a loving, respectful bond, and he never does anything bad around me. I'm always hearing that he does stuff, but when it comes to me, he never does anything. He knows what he should be doing, and it was really hard trying to figure out how to give him the look because I didn't just want to randomly do it and make him cry. So he was using his hoverboard inside the house, and normally like nobody's bothered by that, but he left it on the floor, and I was like, you can't do that because my mom can trip. I didn't tell him anything. I just looked at him and I looked at the hoverboard and I looked at him, and then he quickly picked it up and put it in the corner. So yeah, I went back. I had to talk to him about it because he did look upset. Not upset at me, but like kind of just like sad. And I felt really bad. So, because obviously I could have just been like, hey, Nathan, can you please pick it up? And he would have done it gladly, but I needed to do this. So I did that, and I had to talk to him after, and I told him like, hey, this is for an assignment. Like, I don't want you to think that I'm really mad at you. I'm not, okay? And he was like, okay. Like, I could tell he was still a little bit sad, but I had explained it, so that's fine. And then the second one was the third one was my best friend's roommate, Shauna. I did not know how to do it towards her because she never does anything that would result to me having to get her attention. Plus, she's an adult, so I kind of just did it to her while we were celebrating my birthday and we were out. I gave her the look and she stayed quiet. She did not say anything. She kind of looked down because she didn't want to keep making eye contact, so she looked down, and then she asked my friend if I was okay, like was I mad, like did she do anything. And then I had to talk to her about it. I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I was doing this just for an assignment. Like, do not be mad. I'm not mad at you. So that's how it works. So Shauna stayed quiet. She like kind of kept to herself, walked away, and tried to figure out why. My nephew quickly like knew what I was talking about. As soon as I moved my eyes to the hoverboard, he grabbed it. I didn't have to say anything. And Titus, like, I looked down at his worksheet and he actually sat down and he started working on it, raised his hand because he needed some help. So those were my experiences. And I found an article. The article is tools from teaching research based? Oh, yes. And basically the article discussed a research project influenced by Dr. Fred Jones, and his research on classroom management. So basically what they did is they observed different classrooms where some were like orderly and productive, and there were others that were disruptive. And they noticed that the teachers in the productive classroom would give students a stare or like a look or gesture, and they would fix it. And in the other classrooms, the teachers were just trying to get their attention, trying to talk to them, and it was just not working. So what they did is they gave the teachers like a seminar, so that way they could use it in their classroom, but it just wasn't working. So what they did is they modeled it and gave them examples and asked for them to practice. And once they did and they understood what a teacher look was, they noticed a decrease in the disruptive levels. The rates went down, students were behaving better, it was easier for the teachers to do their job and trying to get through content, and it was just better for the whole class overall. And that's something that I connected with when it came to Titus in my mentor's class, because once I noticed that his whole behavior changed, it really was because of the look. I didn't even have to say anything. He just knew that he should be doing what he was doing, what he knew what he should start working on, basically. But yeah, so I definitely will continue to practice my teacher look. I feel like I could do things a little bit better. Yeah, I was looking in the mirror and I was really trying, but that's something that I definitely need to work on. But thank you.